Have you ever stopped to think about how something as simple as your underwear habits could be quietly affecting your health? Maybe you've felt a little itch here or some redness there, and just shrugged it off, telling yourself it's just part of getting older. You're not alone. Many women think those little discomforts are normal, something to live with. But what if I told you those small signs, itching, irritation, redness, are actually your body's way of sending warning signals? Maybe it's your mother or grandmother going through this, or even you. And these signs aren't just annoying, they can lead to infections, skin damage, and serious discomfort that chips away at your quality of life and the dignity you deserve. It matters because as we age, our skin becomes more delicate, more sensitive. What used to be just a minor nuisance can turn into something that affects how you feel every day, how comfortable you are, how confident you walk out the door. Ignoring these habits can cause issues that ripple through your health in ways you might not expect. But here's the good news: by understanding these risks, you can take control, protect yourself and those you love, and stay healthy and comfortable. Today, I'm going to share the 7 underwear habits that doctors warn older women to stop immediately. Some of these might surprise you, and the best part? You'll get simple, easy tips you can start using right away to improve your comfort and health every single day. So stay with me through this video. It could change how you care for yourself or someone you care deeply about. If you want to protect your health and keep your dignity intact, comment "Health First" below right now. And don't forget to subscribe to Seniors Care for more essential tips to help you and your loved ones live well, age well, and feel your very best. Imagine your aunt. She's always been the kind of woman who loves to stay active. She's gardening on weekends, taking walks in the park, and even volunteering at the local community center. But lately, she's been complaining about something new, a persistent itching and discomfort, especially after wearing her favorite underwear. You know the ones, tight, stylish, made of those smooth synthetic materials like nylon or polyester that look great but feel a bit snug. At first, she thought it was just dry skin or maybe a minor allergy. But day by day, the irritation grew worse, and it started affecting her mood and energy. Here's what's really happening. Underwear made from synthetic fabrics doesn't let your skin breathe. Unlike cotton, these materials trap heat and moisture against your skin. When sweat and warmth get stuck in those tight spaces, it creates the perfect little greenhouse for bacteria and fungi to grow. And that's a problem, especially for older women. As we age, our skin naturally becomes thinner and more fragile, less able to protect itself. What used to be a harmless fashion choice can quickly lead to itching, rashes, and even infections that are painful and hard to shake. Now, there's a common belief that tight underwear is all about style or support and that it doesn't really affect your health. Many women think, it's just underwear, it can't be that bad. But the truth is very different. That tight elastic cutting into the skin? It's not just uncomfortable, it damages delicate skin, making it easier for irritations to develop. And synthetic fabrics? They're often coated with chemicals that add to skin sensitivity. So wearing them regularly is like inviting trouble. So, what can you do? First, switch to underwear made from natural fabrics like cotton or moisture-wicking materials designed to keep skin dry. These fabrics allow air to circulate freely, reducing moisture buildup and keeping bacteria at bay. Second, choose underwear that fits comfortably. Avoid anything with tight elastics or bands that leave marks or dig into your skin. The goal is to feel supported but never squeezed. Remember, comfort isn't just about how you feel, it's about keeping your skin healthy and happy. Fabric choice is crucial, but there's another big factor that often gets overlooked. How often you change your underwear. That's our next critical habit, and it's just as important as what you wear. Let's dive into that now. Your grandmother has always been a practical woman. She sticks to routines, and sometimes that means wearing the same pair of underwear all day long, or even going to bed in them, thinking it's just easier that way. She might say, "It's no big deal, I don't see why I should change so often." Maybe you've noticed it too, and thought, well, if she's comfortable, who's to say otherwise? But here's the thing, what feels like a small convenience can quietly cause big problems. When underwear is worn for too long without changing, moisture from sweat, body heat, and natural secretions get trapped against the skin for hours. This is especially risky in the delicate, sensitive areas where the skin is thinner and more vulnerable. Over time, this constant moisture and warmth break down your skin's natural defenses, making it easier for bacteria and yeast to grow unchecked. That's how infections like yeast infections or urinary tract infections can sneak in, starting small but quickly becoming painful and harder to treat. There's a common misconception that changing underwear less often saves time, water, or money. You might hear, "Why bother changing if it still looks clean," or "It's just underwear." But the health cost of wearing underwear too long is much higher than any short-term convenience. It can lead to discomfort, embarrassing odors, rashes, and infections that could have been easily prevented with a simple change of clothes. So, what's the best way forward? Make it a habit to change your underwear every single day. And not just that, after any activity that causes sweating, like gardening, walking, or even a warm day, change into a fresh, clean pair. Keeping extra pairs within easy reach, whether in your dresser or by your bedside, can make this easier to remember and do. It's a small step that protects your skin and health in ways you might not expect. But even if you're changing regularly, there's another piece of the puzzle that often gets missed: how you wash your underwear. That step can either protect your skin or cause irritation and discomfort. Let's explore that next. Your mother has been complaining about redness and irritation around her hips and thighs for weeks. She's tried creams and lotions, but nothing seems to help. What she doesn't realize is that the culprit might be sitting right in her laundry room, the detergent she uses to wash her underwear. It's easy to overlook because, after all, detergent is supposed to clean, not cause problems. Here's what's happening. Many detergents on the market contain strong fragrances, dyes, and chemicals designed to make clothes smell fresh and look bright. But these same ingredients can leave behind residues that cling to delicate fabrics, and worse, to your skin. For older women, whose skin becomes thinner and more sensitive over time, these leftover chemicals can trigger itching, redness, and allergic reactions. What feels like clean clothes might actually be causing irritation every time they touch your skin. There's a widespread belief that using more detergent or fabric softener will make your clothes cleaner and softer. People think, if a little is good, more must be better. But the opposite is true when it comes to sensitive skin. Excess detergent doesn't rinse out completely and can cause rashes or worsen existing skin conditions. Fabric softeners, often full of fragrances and chemicals, can have the same effect, leaving a coating that traps irritants close to your skin. So, how can you avoid this? The best approach is to choose mild, fragrance-free detergents specially formulated for sensitive skin. These products clean effectively without the harsh chemicals that cause irritation. Also, be sure to rinse your underwear thoroughly during washing, double rinsing if needed, to wash away any detergent residue completely. It might take a little more time, but your skin will thank you. Now that we've covered how detergents affect your skin, let's move on to the styles of underwear you choose. Because some fabrics and designs might look nice but could be doing more harm than good. She's always loved pretty lace underwear, the delicate patterns, the way it makes her feel feminine and beautiful. But lately, after wearing those favorite pieces, she notices her skin turning red, sore, even a bit raw. At first, she thinks it's just a reaction to something else, but the irritation always comes back the same way after wearing lace. Here's why: lace and underwear with thick seams create friction against your skin, rubbing constantly as you move throughout the day. For younger skin, this might just be a minor annoyance, but for older women, whose skin has thinned and lost some of its natural resilience, that friction can cause tiny micro-tears. These small injuries weaken the skin's protective barrier, making it more prone to irritation, redness, and even infections. Many people assume all underwear is the same when it comes to skin health, that once it's clean, it's safe to wear. But the truth is, textures and design matter a lot. Rough seams, heavy lace, and bulky stitching are often overlooked sources of skin problems, especially for delicate skin. The solution is simple. Choose seamless underwear or those made from soft, breathable cotton that glides gently over your skin. These styles reduce friction and help maintain the skin's natural barrier. Comfort and care don't have to sacrifice style. You can find beautiful underwear designed with sensitive skin in mind. Now, choosing the right underwear is crucial, but there's another factor that many don't realize makes a big difference: when and how you wear your underwear, especially during sleep. Your elderly friend has a habit of wearing underwear to bed every single night, saying it just feels more comfortable and helps her feel supported. It's a common belief that underwear should be worn all day and night for hygiene and modesty. But sleeping with underwear traps heat and moisture around sensitive areas all night long. This constant warmth and dampness create an ideal environment for bacteria and yeast to multiply, increasing the risk of infections. The skin doesn't get a chance to breathe or dry out properly, which is essential for keeping it healthy. Many don't realize that giving your skin time to breathe during sleep is not only natural, it's necessary. You don't have to feel uncomfortable or exposed. If you prefer wearing something, opt for loose, breathable cotton underwear instead of tight or synthetic fabrics. Recognizing these habits is important, but catching signs of problems early is just as vital as preventing them in the first place. Let's move on to what happens when irritation or infection starts to show, and why ignoring it can be dangerous. You might notice a little itching or redness here and there and think, it'll go away on its own, or, it's just part of getting older. But those small signs are your body's way of telling you something's not quite right. Ignoring them can lead to bigger problems down the line, like infections that are painful, hard to treat, and can seriously affect daily comfort and health. For older women, skin becomes thinner, less able to heal quickly, and more vulnerable to bacteria and fungi. That means what starts as mild irritation can escalate fast. It's important to pay attention to any changes: itching, unusual redness, swelling, discomfort, or even an unpleasant odor. These are all signals that your skin needs care and attention, not something to push aside. There's a common misconception that mild discomfort is just normal aging and nothing to worry about. But the truth is, these symptoms often indicate infections like yeast or bacterial infections that require treatment. Left unchecked, they can cause skin breakdown, pain, and sometimes more serious health complications. So, what should you do if you notice these signs? First, don't ignore them. Take action early. Keep your underwear clean and dry, and consider changing your laundry products if you suspect irritation from detergents. If the irritation persists or worsens, don't hesitate to seek advice. It's about preserving your comfort and dignity. And here's an important reminder: prevention is always better than cure. Regularly inspect your skin, practice good hygiene, and be mindful of your underwear habits we've talked about so far. Finally, there's one habit many don't think about but can cause serious problems, especially in care settings or shared living situations: sharing or reusing underwear. Let's talk about why that's a risk and how to avoid it. Let's take a moment to bring everything together. We've talked about 7 underwear habits that can quietly affect the health and comfort of older women. Wearing tight or synthetic underwear that traps heat and moisture. Holding on to the same pair for too long without changing. Using harsh detergents or fabric softeners that irritate sensitive skin. Choosing underwear with seams or lace that rubs and damages fragile skin. Wearing underwear during sleep, which blocks the skin from breathing. Ignoring early signs of irritation or infection, letting problems grow unchecked. And finally, sharing or reusing underwear, especially in care settings, which can spread infections quickly. Each of these habits might seem small or harmless on its own, but together, they add up to significant discomfort and health risks. The good news is, making simple changes, choosing breathable fabrics, changing underwear daily, switching to gentle detergents, and paying close attention to your body, can lead to big improvements. You don't have to wait for problems to get worse. You have the power right now to protect your health and dignity through these everyday choices. Now, I want to acknowledge something important. It's not always easy to talk about these intimate habits or even admit that some of your routines might be harmful. Many women feel embarrassed or reluctant to discuss underwear or personal care openly. But facing these topics head-on is the first step toward better health and comfort. This knowledge puts control back in your hands. It empowers you to care for yourself or those you love with patience, respect, and kindness. It's about more than underwear. It's about honoring your body and your well-being as you age. So today, take a small step. Look at your habits with fresh eyes. Maybe start a gentle conversation with a loved one who might benefit from this information. These small actions can make a huge difference. Remember, with awareness and compassion, older women everywhere can maintain their comfort, health, and dignity every single day. Before we wrap up, let's quickly revisit those 7 underwear habits that can quietly but seriously impact health. Wearing tight or synthetic fabrics that trap moisture, keeping underwear on too long without changing, washing with harsh detergents or fabric softeners that irritate sensitive skin, choosing underwear with seams or lace that rub and damage fragile skin, sleeping with underwear on which blocks airflow, ignoring early signs of irritation or infection, and sharing or reusing underwear, especially in care settings where infections can spread easily. Have you or someone you care about experienced any of these? Maybe one of these habits caught you off guard or made you think twice. I'd love to hear which one surprised you the most, or if you have stories and tips to share. Please leave a comment below. Your experience could help someone else take better care of themselves or their loved ones. If this video gave you helpful insights, please give it a like and consider subscribing to Seniors Care. We're here to provide gentle, practical advice that makes caring for yourself and your loved ones a little easier every day. Thank you so much for watching. Stay strong, stay informed, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.